أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما. Today's topic is Lesson 21 from Unit 2, that is Ajwaf with Alif. Verbs with middle letter Alif, the exceptions. Recall that in Lesson 19 and 20, the alif in the past tense was changed to a waw or a ya, like qala yaqulu, ba'a yabi'u in the mudari form. The following verbs are exceptions to the above rule, that is, the alif stays an alif even in the mudari, like khafa yakhafu. Okay, so we are going to learn the third type of ajwaf. We finished in lesson 19 the ajwaf wawi, and in lesson 20 we did ajwaf ya'i, and in today's lesson ajwaf with alif, khafa yakhafu. This lesson is all about exceptions. This is ajwaf with alif. The root letters for khafa are kha, waw and fa. Okay, and the mudari is yakhafu. The alif is staying here, khafa yakhafu. We have learned in our previous lessons about what exactly ajwaf or hollow verbs are. A word is considered as ajwaf when the second root letter or the ayn kalima, ayn radical, is a vowel or a weak letter. Huruf illa, it could be waw or a ya. And ajwaf is from the word jawf, which means the hollow center. Therefore, ajwaf means that which has a hollow center. So the Madi chart will be same as ba'a. Okay, the ajwaf ya'i. So we have khafa, khafa, khafu, khafat, khafata, and the third person feminine plural hunna will be khifna. Okay. So in the Madi, the third person feminine plurals, we can say khafna with a fatha on the kha, or khufna with a dhamma, or khifna. Since the mudari is yakhafu, so the third person feminine plural hunna comes from the mudari present tense. The mudari yakhafu has an alif. If the mudari has an alif, or if it is a ya, then we'll have a kasra. If it has a waw, then go for a dhamma. Or another way to remember is, if it is a waw, then go with a dhamma, and if it's anything else, then go with a kasra. The trick will be to look at the mudari. Let's take the Quranic examples for fi'l madi. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لو تركوا من خلفهم ذرية ضعافا خافوا عليهم. So which is the fi'l madi? Khafa, middle letter alif.
Khafu, away.
Okay, I want you all to say what pronoun and what are the root letters.
It's hum, khafu. Yeah, hum.
MashaAllah. So khafu is third person masculine plural hum. Illa ma sha Allah, except what Allah wills. Sha'a is huwa. Okay. Sha'a yasha'u. Lamma qama Abdullahi yada'uhu kadu yakununa alayhi libada. Kada yakadu, they almost became around him. Kadu is third person masculine plural hum. Fama zalat tilka da'wahum. Zalat, this is third person feminine singular hiya. Hiya zalat. Zala yazalu. Walawla an thabbatnaka laqad kitta tarkanu ilayhim shay'a. Remember we learnt about kada yakadu. So do you see anything similar to that?
Yeah, kitta.
Kit. So it's anta kitta. Okay, kada, kada, kadu, kadat, kadata, anta kitta. You almost. Yusufu min qablu bil bayyinati fama ziltum fi shakkin. What is the word?
Antum ziltum.
MashaAllah. Zala yazalu. So antum ziltum. Second person masculine plural. Ba'a, it's gonna be sha'a, sha'a, sha'u, and shi'na. So hunna will be shi'na or and nala nilna, nama nimna, kada kidna. Let's take the mudari chart, that is khafa yakhafu, and notice that the alif stays here. Unlike in qala yaqulu, right? Qala was same, but the alif turned into a waw in mudari. And in ba'a yabi'u, the alif turned into a ya in ba'a yabi'u, ajwaf ya'i. But in this ajwaf with alif, the alif stays. Khafa yakhafu. So we have the third person masculine. Yakhafu, yakhafani, yakhafuna. He fears or he will fear. They both fear or they both will fear. And they all fear or they all will fear. Third person feminine is takhafu, takhafani. And look at the third person feminine plural hunna. It's gonna be yakhafna. What was in qala yaqulu? What was the hunna part?
Yaqulna.
MashaAllah. What was the hunna part for ajwaf ya'i? Ba'a yabi'u yabi'na, right? Yaqulna for ajwaf wawi, qala yaqulu, and for ajwaf ya'i, ba'a yabi'u, it was yabi'na. But for khafa yakhafu, the hunna will be yakhafna. I'll explain you why. The mudari present tense has an alif, yakhafu, right? And from the third person feminine plural hunna, the alif, which is actually a ya, is dropped. And here the middle letter is an alif. That's why we have a fatha. I learned about the three vowels and three cousins. Alif is cousins with a fatha, a sound. Waw is cousins with a dhamma, u sound. And ya is cousins with a kasra, e sound. That's why we have yakhafna. And this ajwaf with alif, this belongs to bab sami'a yasma'u. So the hunna for sami'a yasma'u is yasma'na. So we have yakhafna. Okay, we'll have a fatha because alif is cousins with a fatha.
The past tense, if you see for the ajwaf al-wawi and ajwaf al-ya'i, it's the same, right? So it's like
What
the
is
alif is
it?
still there. So how would we know which is what?
Yeah, you need to understand, like there are only few, the 6 letters from the Quran. You just have to memorize them. Like, you know, khafa yakhafu, nala yanalu, nama yanamu, zala yazalu, sha'a yasha'u, kada yakadu. And the mostly used word is khafa yakhafu and sha'a yasha'u. Rest of them have come like, have occurred few times in the Quran.
So only these 6 will be the exceptions,
Yeah,
you said.
yeah. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. So hunna is yakhafna. And second person masculine anta, antuma, antum is takhafu, takhafani, takhafuna, takhafina, takhafani, takhafna. Hunna yakhafna, antunna, takhafna. And the first person is ana akhafu, nahnu nakhafu. The present or future tense, the mudari chart in the book, there's a correction you have to make. It's not yakhifna, it's yakhafna. Okay? Just make this change. And also it's not takhifna, it will be takhafna. Okay? Please correct this. It's on page 177, the black book. I don't know about the blue book. What's the page number? The black book is 177, and you can make the change for the mudari, present or future tense, for yakhafu. It's not yakhifna, it will be yakhafna and takhafna. Okay, anybody else want to do zala yazalu or sha'a yasha'u?
Yes, yazalu, yazalani, yazaluna, tazalu, tazalani, yazalna,
MashaAllah.
tazalu, tazalani, tazaluna, tazalina, and the tazalani, tazalna,
MashaAllah.
azalu, nazalu.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Let's take the Quranic examples for mudari. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wala yakhafu uqbaha. And not he fears its consequences. What is the word? Mudari? Yakhafu, right? And what type of la is this?
It's a simple negation.
Why is it simple negation?
Because it's not making the mudari majzoom.
MashaAllah. وَلَا يَخَافُ, and not he fears. وَلَا يَزَالُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا تُصِيبُهُم بِمَا صَنَعُوا قَارِعَةٌ.
Zala yazalu. Yazalu.
Hum yazalu. Wala yazalu, not will cease. This is from Zala yazalu. La yakaduna yafqahuna qawla.
Kada yakadu. Yakadu. Hum yakaduna.
Very good. Hum yakaduna. So this is simple negation. La yakaduna, not who would almost understand his speech. Kada yakadu. Hum yakaduna. Third person masculine plural.
Root letter masdar would be kaidan, right?
Click on this. It shows here. The root letters are kaf, waw, dal. You see? The root letters are this. Kaf, waw, dal. Okay? Nala, yanalu. The root letters are noon, ya, lam. For this you have the root letters for nala are noon, ya, lam. Some have the root letters are noon, ya, lam, like for nala, yanalu. And for kada, yakadu, kaf, waw, dal, khafa, yakhafu, it is kha, waw, and fa. And this is sheen, ya, hamza, right? Sha'a, yasha'u. So some have the middle letter as waw and some has it as a ya, because these are exceptions. Okay? Let's learn about the command or amr or imperative verbs. How do you make command? You take the second person mudare, takhafu. Okay? The next step is to drop the alamat mudare, ta. So it becomes khafu. What is the next step?
Put a sukun on the last letter.
Yeah, we make it majzoom, right? So it becomes something like khaf. And the vowels drop if two sukuns meet. And you cannot have two sukuns next to each other in Arabic. So the alif drops and alif has a cousin which is a fatha. That's why we have a fatha on kha. It becomes khaf. The amr chart is we have takhafu, takhafani, takhafuna. Right? This is second person masculine. Mudare. And the amr is anta khaf, antuma khafa. The noon drops here. Antum khafu. Anti khafi. Antuma khafa. Antunna khafna. The noon stays here for the feminine plural. So we have khaf, khafa, khafu, khafi, khafa, khafna. Can someone make a amr chart for zala yazalu?
Zal, zala, zalu, zali, zala, zalna.
MashaAllah. Let's take the Quranic examples for amr. Fala takhafuhum wa khafuni. So do not fear them, but fear me. Takhafu, do not fear them. This is law of prohibition, right? Takhafu, the noon has dropped. And khafu, this is fear me. And did you notice one thing? Khaf, khafa, khafu, khafi, khafa, khafna. What is this khafu? Where did we learn this? Khafu. Khafu is same as third person masculine plural hum khafu. This is also khafu, the madi chart, and also the amr would be khafu. How do you know that this is madi or amr? Is depending on the context. So in this ayah we have khafu, right? We might think that this is fi'l madi, but look at the translation. It says, but fear me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding, right? Fear me. So this khafu is amr and this is not fi'l madi. Let's move to prohibition or nahi or forbidding. And how do you make the nahi? We place a la for the second person masculine and feminine and we make the mudare majzoom. So it is like, it is the sami'a yasma'u ba'd. So it's gonna be la tasma'. So the same way we are gonna have la takhaf. The alif is dropped here. Okay? We'll not say takhaf. We'll say takhaf. So we have la takhaf, la takhafa, la takhafu, la takhafi, la takhafa, la takhafna. Don't fear, you both don't fear, you all don't fear. So this is the prohibition. Let's take the examples. قالوا لا تخف إنا أرسلنا إلى قوم لوط. They said, do not fear, indeed we have been sent to the people of Lut. What is nahi here? Prohibition? La takhaf, right? Do not fear. And takhaf is second person masculine singular, anta. Okay? La takhafa innani ma'akuma asma'u wa ara. Do not fear, indeed I am with you both, I hear and I see.
It's أنتما تخافا.
If there was a no law of prohibition, what it would have been?
It would have been تخافاني.
Yes, very good. It would have been takhafani. The noon drops because of the law of prohibition. So it becomes la takhafa. You both do not fear. Indeed, فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي إِنَّا رَادُّوهُ إِلَيْكَ. But when you fear for him, then cast him into the river, and do not fear and do not grieve. Indeed, we will restore him to you.
Khifti.
What is khifti?
You, anti.
Is it madi, mudare, amal? What is it?
Madi.
This is fi'il madi, right? Khifti, anti khifti. Any other words?
Yeah. Takhafi. Wala takhafi. This is prohibition.
What pronoun?
Anti. La takhafi.
MashaAllah. So it was takhafina, right?
Yeah, it's the mother of Musa alayhi salam.
MashaAllah, very good. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to Musa alayhi salam's mother, right? But when you fear for him, then cast him into the river and do not fear and do not grieve. Indeed, we will restore him to you. So here Allah, that's why we have khifti, anti khifti, because it's for the female, and takhafi, right? This is also the female, anti.
Yeah.
The jussive particles are li, la, lam, lamma, in, wal, and fal, and also the conditional words that makes the mudare majzoom. And let's take some examples. Wahammu bima lam yanalu, and plan of what not they could attain.
Yanalu.
What was it before?
Lam yanalu.
لم ينالوا.
What was this before?
ينالوا.
Yanaluna.
Very good. This is third person masculine plural hum yanaluna. Because of huruf jazima lam, it became majzoom. The noon drops, it becomes lam yanalu. إذا أخرج يده لم يكد يراها. When he puts out his hand, he can hardly see it.
Lam yakad. It was yakadu. Huwa. Third person singular. Fi'l al-mudari'un. And after them, it has become yakad.
MashaAllah. This is kada yakadu. This is third person masculine singular yakadu, right? Because of the huruf jazima lam, it becomes majzoom. You cannot say yakad, right? So the alif drops and it becomes yakad. إِن يَشَأْ يُذْهِبْكُمْ أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ وَيَأْتِي بِآخَرِينَ. If he wills, he can take you away, O people, and bring others. So this is sha'a yasha'u. Because of the conditional article in, it becomes majzoom. So yasha'u becomes yasha. Okay? If he wills. مَن يَشَأِ اللَّهُ يُضْلِلْهُ وَمَن يَشَأْ يَجْعَلْهُ عَلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. Whoever Allah wills, He lets him go astray, and whoever He wills, He places him on the straight path.
It's same. It's majzoom, but the kasra is because of alif lam.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah, very good. Because of the conditional article man, yasha'u becomes majzoom, it becomes yasha, right? But since there is Allahu, so there is a temporary kasra on the hamza, yasha'illahu. And there's one more word, waman yasha. So here, because of man, it becomes majzoom, yasha. Nasiba, words with accusative particles that makes the mudare mansoob are li, kai, likai, likaila, an, li, an, Allah, hatta, and lan. And the examples are lan yanala Allah luhumuha wala dima'uha. Will not reach Allah their meat and not their blood.
Lan yanala.
Okay, what is happening here? What was it before?
Yanalu. It became yanala with fatha because of lam.
Because of huruf nasiba lan, yanalu becomes mansoob, it becomes yanala. La tanalul birra hatta tunfiqu mimma tuhibbun. Never will you attain the righteousness until you spend from what you love.
Yeah, this is tanaluna. And the nasb here is with drop of noon.
MashaAllah. Because of huruf nasiba lan, tanaluna becomes mansoob, it becomes tanalu, the noon drops. أن يخافا ألا يقيما حدود الله. If both fear that not they can keep the limits of Allah.
يخافا.
Okay, huruf nasiba an, yakhafani, the noon drops and it becomes yakhafa. This is third person masculine dual. وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ, and not you will accept that Allah wills. What is huruf nasiba here?
An yasha'u is becoming yasha'a.
MashaAllah. Because of huruf nasiba an, yasha'u becomes mansoob, it becomes yasha'a. Let's move to the fa'il or the doer, the active participles. They will be in fa'ilun pattern. So khafa yakhafu will be khaifun. Okay? So let's take examples. فَأَصْبَحَ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ خَائِفًا يَتَرَقَّبُ. In the morning he was in the city, fearful and was vigilant. So what is fa'il or doer here? Khaifan, right? Fearful. This is the fa'il. مَا كَانَ لَهُمْ أَن يَدْخُلُوهَا إِلَّا خَائِفِينَ. They enter them except like those in fear. Which one is fa'il or the doer in this ayah? Khaifina. And is it singular or plural?
It's plural.
Yeah. Khaifun is singular. Khaifani, khaifuna. This is plural. فَطَافَ عَلَيْهَا طَائِفٌ مِّن رَبِّكَ وَهُمْ نَائِمُونَ. So there came upon it a visitation from your Lord while they were asleep. What is the Madi and Mudari for this?
It's nama yanamu.
Very good. Nama yanamu is to sleep. Naimun, this is fa'ilun pattern. Plural. Okay, for the masdar, as you all know, for the small 6 families, that is daraba yadribu, sami'a yasma'u, fataha yaftahu, karuma yakrumu, daraba yadribu. So for all these small 6 families, there is no set masdar pattern, it could change. So for khafa yakhafu, okay, the masdar is khawfan or khifatun. For the Unit 3, Form 2 to Form 10, there is a set masdar pattern. We are going to learn in future. So let's see the masdar. الَّذِي أَطْعَمَهُمْ مِنْ جُوءٍ وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ. Which is the masdar here?
جوعي.
No, this is جَاءَ يَجِيعُ. We are looking for words with middle letter alif, the exceptions.
Okay, خوف.
Yeah, khafa yakhafu khawf, right? Khawf is fear. وَاذْكُرْ رَبَّكَ فِي نَفْسِكَ تَضَرُّعًا وَخِيفًا. And remember your Lord in yourself, humbly and in fear.
خيفة.
Khifatan, right? So here it has come as khawf, fear, and sometimes it might come as khifatan. So there is no set masdar pattern for 6 small families. وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا. So what is the masdar here?
نوم.
What is the madi and mudari for that?
نام ينام.
Very good. Naum is sleep.
Yeah.
وَلَا يَنَالُونَ مِنْ عَدُوٍّ نَيْلًا. And not they inflict on an enemy an infliction.
Yeah. نال ينال نيلا.
MashaAllah. So look here. Khafa yakhafu was khawfan. This is nala yanalu. The root letter is noon ya lam. Right? Nailan. This is the masdar here. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. And Allah is on everything all powerful. What is the masdar here?
Shay'in.
Okay, what is the madi and mudari?
Sha'a.
MashaAllah. Sha'a yasha'u shay'un. Right? Shay'un, shay'an, shay'in. Like Muslimun, Muslimani, Muslimuna. It could be anything. Shay'un or shay. We just write it in the mansoob form because it is easy for us to remember, like the surf chart. So shay'in. Right? Mudaf, mudaf ilayh. I found one example with noon of emphasis. Noon tawqeed. وَإِمَّا تَخَافَنَّ مِنْ قَوْمٍ خِيَانَةٍ. So here we have تَخَافَنَّ, and if you fear from a people betrayal, so تَخَافَنَّ, right? So we have the noon of emphasis here. This is second person masculine singular, تَخَافُ. But when you have the noon of emphasis, it becomes تَخَافَنَّ. So the surf chart is, we have fi'l madi, mudari, masdar, fa'il, maf'ul. We have madi majhul, mudari majhul, amr and nahi. And I have not made the chart for madi majhul and mudari majhul because it's same as the ba'a yabi'u, ajwaf ya'i. So, and it has not occurred in the Quran. Khafa yakhafu khawfan khaifun makhufun. Khifa yukhafu khawfan. We have amar khaf nahi la takhaf. And there's one more. Nala yanalu nailan nailun manulun. Nila yunalu nailan nal la tanal. Let's take the amar chart from the book. We have khaf, khafa, khafu, khafi, khafa. It's khafna and not khifna. There's one more correction for fi'l amar. It's not khifna, it will be khafna. This is again on page 177. And the vocabulary for middle letter alif verbs, the exceptions are, we have zala, yazalu. The root letters are zal, ya and lam, to go away. Sha'a, yasha'u, to wish. The root letters are sheen, ya and hamza. Kada, yakadu, to be about. The root letters are kaf, waw and dal. Nala, yanalu, to reach. The root letters are noon, ya, lam. Nama, yanamu, to sleep. The root letters are noon, waw and mim. And notice that some words have the middle root letter as ya, like zala, yazalu, sha'a, yasha'u, nala, yanalu. And rest of the words have the middle letter as waw, like kada, yakadu, nama, yanamu and khafa, yakhafu. Let's take the Quranic examples. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ. For the one who fears when they will stand before their Lord. Very good. This is huwa khafa, who fears, third person masculine singular. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ. When you fear about him, then cast him into the river. Anti khifti. Fi'il madi. فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمْ. Eat from it from wherever you wish.
أنتم شئتم. شاء.
MashaAllah. Sha'a, yasha'u.
أنتم شئتم.
Antum shi'tum. MashaAllah.
في الماضي.
Inni akhafu alaykum adhaba yawmin alim. I fear for you the penalty of a grievous day.
في المضارع أنا أخاف.
MashaAllah. Ana akhafu, first person. I fear. وَلَا يَزَالُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فِي مِرْيَةٍ مِّنْهِ. Those who reject will always be in doubt about it.
يزال. Here it is هو, but it's coming in front of the sentence, so it's in singular form. يزال.
MashaAllah.
زال يزال.
Zala yazalu. So this is huwa yazalu. Fi'il mudari. وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. You will not will except what Allah wills.
تشاءون أنتم فعل المضارع.
ما شاء الله.
ويشاء هو فعل مضارع أيضا.
فعل مضارع منصوب.
هو نعم.
ما شاء الله.
منصوب.
حروف ناصبة أن يشاء becomes منصوب, it becomes يشاء. ولا تخافي ولا تحزني. Do not fear nor grieve.
أنت لا تخافي.
This is anti takhafi for the feminine, because this ayah is talking about Musa alayhi salam's mother. فَلَا تَخَافُوهُمْ وَخَافُونِي. Do not fear them, but fear me. What are the words?
تخافوا أنتم prohibition. لا تخافوا أنتم command.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Because of the law of prohibition, takhafuni, the noon drops, it becomes takhafu. وَخَافُوا is fi'il amar. Antum khafu. Fear me. لَن يَنَالَ اللَّهَ لُهُومُهَا وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا. It is not their meat or blood that reaches Allah. So because of huruf nasiba, lan, yanalu becomes mansoob, and this is huwa yanalu. Nala yanalu. Fi'il mudari. Takadu tamayyazu min al-ghayb. Almost bursting with fury.
تكاد. Here.
MashaAllah. So kada yakadu. So this is takadu. Alhamdulillah, we are done with today's lesson. Verbs with middle letter alif, the exceptions. Lesson 21. Jazakallahu khairan everyone.